Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to yet another super amazing and a brand new mega botany test, even full syllabus of class 11th rank booster series for my dear NEET 2021 batch. So today we will be discussing about the whole questions, the top 30 questions from the entire botany part of class 11. That is, what are the chapters that comes from the botany module from this year onwards. You will be having the separate biology lectures, the separate biology papers, right? Botany separate and zoology separate. Since last year both were combined together, they were in the ratio actually 48 to 42 or whatever, they depends. Okay, but this year it will be 45 each from botany and zoology. So now we are going to discuss about 30 most important questions from the 11th syllabus of botany, class 11th biology. Okay, this would be the rank booster next episode lecture itself. Done, everybody. So what are the different chapters that comes under botany in your class 11? First chapter is living world, biological classification, plant kingdom, morphology, anatomy of flowering plants, cell the unit of life, cell cycle and cell division, plant physiology, 5 chapters, that is transport in plants, mineral nutrition, photosynthesis, respiration, and plant growth and regulation. These 12 chapters are the super important botany chapters from your class 11. So let's get moving with today's session. Those who are watching the session right now, don't forget to hit the like button, do share it with your friends, and subscribe the amazing platform for more updates on biology. Just 50 important days in front of for NEET 2021 aspirants. Reminding once again, work hard, practice full-length mock tests. That's the only thing which I have been repeating since last day. Practice as much as MCQs as you can, full length, not chapter wise. You have to practice full length mock tests. Okay, practicing chapter wise won't give you, will definitely give you marks for the exam, but practicing full length will give you an extraordinary power to manage the most important thing, that is time. Okay, since last time it was 180 minutes for 180 questions, right? But this time it is 180 minutes for 200 questions, even though you are advised to write only 180 questions. But guys, that's actually a challenge for all NEET aspirants. Okay, by looking at, suppose we won't be just doing like we all be writing, we won't be like we all be writing the section A, and after that we won't be moving on to the section B of all the subjects, right? After we complete the first biology or botany is the first part, then if we complete the section A, directly we move on to the next 10 questions of botany itself. So at that point of time, you have to read all those 15 questions of botany. Just imagine if that all those were simple statement questions itself. Reading the statement consumed more than 1 minute for biology. Even if it was 1 mark, 1 word questions and all, you may spend just 20 to 30 seconds in answering each and everything, right? So just imagine at that point of time, you won't be managing, you won't be able to get time to write the last part of the physics papers. Most of the students will be writing physics towards the end of the session itself, right? So as you move forward, you won't be getting enough time for completing the physics. You won't be able to read the 15 options question given over there in physics part or chemistry part or whatever, if you spend more time on biology. So you have to definitely practice so that you must finish your papers nearly half an hour earlier. That is by taking 2.5 hours, so that you will get more than half hour for completing or for reading the extra options and to choose your answers. Done, everybody. So tomorrow, NEET 2023 batch would be having the lecture of biomolecules on the carbohydrates, and 2023 will be having the transport in plants, xylem and phloem in detail in tomorrow's class. And for NEET 2021 aspirants, I have to tell you, tomorrow you will be having a quick revision. We would be going or browsing, looking our eyes through the entire diagrams of unit 1, that is the diversity in the living world. Living world, a plant kingdom, biological classification, and animal kingdom. We'll be browsing our eyes through all these 4 chapters, the most important diagrams, and we'll be doing 10 to 15 questions, MCQs also from the same. So let's move on with today's session, and the first question is right now on this screen. Match column 1 with column 2 for the housefly classification and select the correct option using the codes given below. So you have four different options, four different columns. That is column 1 and column 2. Four different words have been given, and you have to assign the correct chords and you have to match the following. Let's match it together. Family. What is a family? After reading all these things, you will understand that it is a housefly. Already it was given in the question itself before that. So there is no need of an utter confusion after that. So housefly, what is the family of housefly? What is a family? Yes, you know that family is Musidae. Musidae is the family. What is the order? Diptera. The order of housefly is, taxonomic order of housefly is Diptera. Class Insecta. We know that class Insecta and phylum Arthropoda. So A matches with 3, B matches with 1, C matches with 4, and D matches with 2. So the correct answer is option number 1. Am I right? Very simple question from the first chapter. So guys, you have to study the first table that is given over there about the housefly, mango, wheat, and human being. One question from that area would be sure for your NEET examination. Moving on to question number 2. Which of the following is not a correct statement? Not a correct statement, guys. The words not, then difference, negative words, all those things are very confusing. You have to read the question twice if you find any words like not. Which of the following is, or some questions like that, then you have to read the question 2 times at least before you answer, because they may give 2 negative sentences or 2 negative words in the same question, which can add up to a positive sentence. By seeing the word not, most of you will be going with the negative option itself. But actually, they'll be using 2 negative words in the same question to make that statement a positive, right? So at that point of time, read the question, understand its meaning, and then choose the option. Okay. A museum has a collection of photographs of plants and animals. Point number 1 or option number 1. Key is a taxonomic aid for the identification of specimens. No, right? That is, it is a correct statement. So that cannot be the answer for this question. Herbarium houses dried, pressed, and preserved plant specimen. If I just put the wrong, then everybody will be thinking like that's a wrong statement. No, that's a correct statement, which is actually a wrong option for this question I just marked. Okay, now it's perfect. Herbarium houses dried, pressed, and preserved plant specimen. Absolutely, they are known as the dry gardens, right? Botanical garden have a collection of living plants for reference. That's again correct. So the incorrect statement is option number A. That is, a museum has not only the collection of photographs of plants and animals, they also have the living specimens. Not only the living, the dead stuffed materials are also there instead of photographs only. Okay, so that's the answer for question number 2 is option number A. Moving on to question number 3. Very easy question from biological classification, which can come as a part of the chapter cell also. Which of the following components provide a sticky character to the bacterial cell? Sticky character to a bacterial cell. You know that a bacterial cell. Just imagine this is a bacterial cell. And just imagine this is going to be the cell wall. Just imagine this is going to be the cell wall. And you will see that the cell wall is surrounded by a gelatinous, not a gelatinous, actually it can be hard, tough covering as well, or it can be a capsule-like structure. So a small structure or an outer covering surrounding the cell wall of a bacterial cell, you will call this particular structure as the glycocalyx. What you will call such a structure? You will call such structure as the glycocalyx. And towards the inner part of the glycocalyx, you will see the plasma membrane, and the plasma membrane will be showing certain invaginations into the cytoplasm. Right, everybody? They'll be showing certain invaginations into the cytoplasm. This blue layer is known as the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. And this invagination, which is shown by the plasma membrane, is very important question from the chapter cell also. It is referred to as the mesosomes. And this mesosome is the only organelle that performs almost every function, and it is similar to the mitochondria in a eukaryotic cell. So the mesosome in a prokaryotic cell, so mesosome is present in a prokaryotic cell. So mesosome present in a prokaryotic cell is similar to the mitochondria present in a eukaryotic cell as well. So the correct answer for this question is glycocalyx, since it is the outermost layer. Done, everybody. Question number 4. Select the wrong statement. This is again a previous year NEET 2016 MCQ question. You have to select the wrong statement from the following. Let's read one by one. Diatoms are microscopic and float passively in water. The very first sentence of NCERT, important one, correct one. Diatoms are the chief producers in the ocean. Yes, correct one. Diatomaceous earth is formed by the cell wall of diatoms. Correct. The wall of diatoms are easily destructible. This is a wrong statement. The walls of diatoms are indestructible. Diatomaceous earth, due to their wall is made with silica. Due to the deposition of silica, it leads to the formation of diatomaceous earth. Okay, it is actually gritty in nature and is used for polishing of shoes, everything, right? Filtration of oils and syrup and everything. So the correct answer for question number 4 is option number 1. Question number 5 on your screen. Which of the following is incorrect statement? Which of the following is an incorrect statement? Yeast have a filamentous body with long thread-like hyphae. Morels and truffles are edible delicacies. Claviceps is a source of many alkaloids and LSD. Conidia are produced exogenously and ascospores are produced endogenously. Yes, you have to choose the incorrect statement. You know that conidia are produced exogenously. That is, if this is the, then the conidia will be formed like this exogenously. So this statement is correct. And the ascospores will be produced inside the ascocarp endogenously, right? Inside. This is outside. Claviceps is a source of many alkaloid and LSDs. Correct. Morels and truffles. Yes, they too are the edible fungus. Yeast have filamentous body with a thread-like hyphae. That's a wrong. Yeast filamentous body. No. So that is a wrong statement. So that marks the correct answer for this question number 5. So because you are asked to choose the incorrect statement from the following. Question number 6. Very easy question. Okay. Mad cow disease in cattle is caused by mad cow disease, bovine spongiform encephalopathy. It is a disease in cattle which is caused by, I will give you a clue, that is the mad cow disease or bovine spongiform encephalopathy, BSE, is caused in cattle by the agents known as prions. You know what is a prion? Prion is infectious protein. Abnormally folded infectious protein. So which is the correct answer over here? Abnormally folded infectious protein. Option B will be the correct answer for this question number 6. Moving on to question number 7. Which of the following statements is wrong? Which of the following statement is wrong? Let's read one by one. Laminaria and sargassum are used as food. Is it correct or not? Yes, it's a correct statement. Laminaria and sargassum, brown algae, they are used as food. Agar is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. That's again a correct statement. Algae increase the level of dissolved oxygen in the immediate environment. Yes, correct. Half of the carbon dioxide fixation happens by the algae, right? Algin is obtained from a red algae and carrageen obtained from a brown algae. Wrong statement. So the correct answer for the 7th question is option number B. Moving on to the 8th question. Monoecious plant of Khara shows the occurrence of. I told you this diagram of Khara is very important. It is NCERT based diagram. NCERT important diagram. Just bookmark that, everybody. So you must be clearly aware that in case they will show an upper oogonium. Okay, they will show an upper oogonium, which is the female part. And they will show the presence of lower antheridium. Okay, they will show the presence of upper oogonium and lower antheridium. So the correct answer is option B, upper oogonium, lower antheridium on the same plant. That is why they are called monoecious. Monoecious, they are present on the same plant. Question number 9 on your screen. In bryophytes, what is actually you can see over in bryophytes. That is the amphibians of the plant kingdom. Yes, amphibians of the plant kingdom, they require water for completing their sexual cycle. Amphibians of plant kingdom. In bryophytes, both generations are independent. Gametophytes are dependent on the sporophytes. Sporophytes complete their life cycle. Sporophytes are dependent on the gametophyte. You know that in the bryophyte, the leafy stage, right? The leafy stage, you will call them as what? The leafy stage. You will call them as what? The gametophyte. And the rest of the part, the food Cetian capsule, you will call them as the sporophyte. And the sporophyte is dependent on the gametophyte, right? So sporophyte are dependent on the gametophyte. Okay. So correct answer for question number 9 is option D. Moving on to question number 10. Selaginella and Salvinia. Selaginella and Salvinia are considered to be representing a significant step towards the seed habit, that is evolution of seed habit, because female gametophyte is free and gets dispersed like seeds. Female gametophytes lacks archegonia. Megaspores possess endosperm and embryo surrounded by seed coat. Embryo develops inside the female gametophyte, which is retained on the parent sporophyte. That is what you are calling it as a precursor of seed habit, right? The embryo which is developing will retain inside the female gametophyte, right? They will retain it themselves. The zygote or the embryo will retain themselves under one of their parents itself. So that is referred to as the precursor of seed habit. So the correct answer for this question is option number D. Give me thumbs up on the chat box if up to question number 10. The first 10 question with absolute explanation is perfectly fine for each one of you in the class. Yes? Yes, everybody? Yes. Next, we are moving on to the question number 11. Stems modified into flat green organs performing the function of leaves are known as. So modification of stem that looks like the leaf or that are photosynthetic in function. You know the answer, it is the phylloclad, Opentia and Euphorbia, right? Cylindrical, fleshy, and Euphorbia, right? Opentia and Euphorbia, phylloclad examples. Moving on to question number 12. In a cymose inflorescence, the main axis is in cymose inflorescence. You know that in racemose inflorescence, you will see the blooming of the flowers on these sides, right? They will be formed laterally. They will be formed laterally like this. But this is in case of racemose inflorescence. But what is the case with the cymose inflorescence? The cymose inflorescence is happening like the flower. The axis would be terminated in a flower, or the terminal portion will be entered in a flower, so that the cymose inflorescence, the floral axis, will terminate into a flower. Clear, everybody? Moving on to question number 13. In China rose, the flowers are, when I discuss the rank booster of morphology also, I have posted the same question because this is a very important question. In China rose, that is hibiscus, the flowers are, yes, you know that in China rose, the flowers are hypogynous in condition, right? In China rose, the flowers are hypogynous in condition. You know that. And you also know that in China rose, the flowers show twisted estivation. So by seeing both of them, you can go with the option C. So this is not given in the NCERT. So they are zygomorphic flowers as well. So zygomorphic, hypogynous, and twisted estivation. So question number 13, the correct answer is option number C. Moving on to question number 14. Phloem in gymnosperms lack. Phloem in gymnosperms lack. You know that pteridophytes were the first land vascular plants, right? There only you have seen the presence of the vascular tissues. That is the xylem and the phloem. But there is not fully developed xylem and phloem. But in case of gymnosperms, phloem lacks which of the following components? Just they lack both sieve tubes and companion cells. They lack both sieve tubes and companion cells in phloem as well. Question number 15. Which of the following statement is not true for stomatal apparatus? is not true for stomatal apparatus. Question number 15. Let's read one by one. Inner wall of guard cells are thick. Stomata are involved in gaseous exchange. Guard cells are always surrounded by subsidiary cells. Guard cells invariably possess chloroplast and mitochondria. Which is the answer? Yes, the answer for this question will be option number B. Guard cells are always surrounded by the subsidiary cells. Question number 16. This is a NEET 2020 question. Grass leaves curl inwards. Grass leaves curl inwards. During a dry weather, select the most appropriate reason from the following. Which is the most appropriate reason? Tylosis in the vessels, closure of the stomata, flaccidity of the bulliform cells, and shrinkage in the air spaces of the spongiform mesophyll. Which is the correct answer for this question, everybody? Yes, you will see that the leaf of the plants curl inwards due to the flaccidity of the bulliform cells. The bulliform cells would be becoming flaccid. Okay, flaccid condition. The bulliform cells would be changing into flaccid condition that makes the leaves curl inward. Question number 17. Question from a very important chapter where you can get maximum of 4 questions from a single chapter. Cell, the unit of life. That is very easy question. Direct NCRT. The Golgi complex plays a major role in. The Golgi complex plays a major role in. You know, they are associated with the packaging of materials, packaging and modification of the material. So what is their function? They help in the post-translational modification of proteins and glycosylation of lipids. So the correct answer is option number B. Question number 18. I know nobody will have doubt in this because it's the first thing that you study in this chapter. Fluid mosaic model was proposed by SN, which is that Singer and Nicholson. Option B is the correct answer. Singer and Nicholson proposed a fluid mosaic model of cell theory. Question number 19. Okay, this is again a very easy question, guys. Crossing over, read the question very carefully and then only go with the answer. Crossing over takes place between which chromatids? Is it between homologous non-sister chromatids or between sister homologous, non-homologous or whatever? And in which stage? So you have 2 questions to be answered. Between which chromatids and during which stage they are happening. Let's read one by one. Non-sister chromatids of non-homologous chromosome. No, they are homologous chromosomes. Statement A is wrong. So here also non-homologous is given. So that's again wrong. Yes. Where is crossing over actually happening? Non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome. Correct. Non-sister of homologous chromosome. Correct. Whether it is taking place in the packaging or in the zygote stage. It is. That is, synapsis happens in the zygote stage. As a result, crossing over happens in the Paquetin stage. Crossing over happens in the Paquetin stage. So the correct answer is option number B, in the zygote stage. That's a wrong statement. Question number 20. The enzyme recombinase is required in which part or which stage of meiosis? During which stage of meiosis the enzyme recombinase plays a role? You know that where is this recombinase enzyme needed? Actually, recombinase enzyme is needed. It is needed at the place of crossing over. That is the Paquetin. Enzyme recombinase can be seen in the Paquetin stage. So correct answer for question number 20 is option number A. Question number 21. What will be the direction of flow of water? What will be the direction of flow of water when a plant cell is placed in a hypotonic solution? What do you mean by a hypotonic solution? The concentration would be less. So what is a hypotonic? What happens to the cell placed in a hypotonic solution? What happens? What happens? The cell, this is a suppose this is a beaker and the beaker is full of hypotonic solution. A cell is placed inside this beaker. Okay, a cell, a plant cell or whichever cell is placed inside this beaker. What will happen? Water will flow into the cell. Water will flow into the cell. So the correct answer for this question is option number C. Water will flow into the cell. Right, everybody? Is that clear for everyone listening in the class? Are you getting the points correctly? Option number C, water will flow into the cell. You will study in the ongoing chapter, transport in plants, everybody. Moving on to the question number 22. The process responsible for facilitating loss of water in form of liquid from the tip of the grass blades at night and early morning is NEET 2020 question. NEET 2020 phase 1 question. Okay. The process responsible for facilitating loss of water in the form of liquid form, which is that guttation, right? So guttation, water from water vapor form, it is transpiration. So which is that pressure which is responsible? It is none other than the root pressure. It is given directly in the NCERT. You must study this very sincerely, dedicatedly. You have to read the plant physiology chapters from the beginning. That is the transporting plants onwards. It has been given specifically like the exact statement. The statement is given in the NCERT, so please go through that. Okay, the root pressure is responsible for the guttation happening inside the body of the plants. Moving on to question number 23. This is a question from mineral nutrition. Let's match one by one. Iron. What is the function of iron? Iron is required for chlorophyll biosynthesis. So A matches with 3. So cancel all other options, which only one option is there, option C. Yes, zinc is required for indole acetic acid synthesis. Boron is required for pollen germination. In your class 12, you will learn an experiment. Pollen tube germination. Photolysis of water is facilitated by the element known as manganese. So the correct answer is option C. Done, everybody? Is that clear? Moving on to question number 24. The product of the reaction catalyzed by the nitrogenase in the root nodules of leguminous plants is nitrogenase in the root nodules of the leguminous plants are ammonia alone, nitrate alone, ammonia and oxygen, ammonia and hydrogen. NEET 2020 question from mineral nutrition. Yes, which is the answer? It is ammonia and hydrogen. There is an equation given in the NCERT. You can refer the chapter mineral nutrition. For NEET 2023, if anybody is watching, we'll be taking this chapter. I'll be taking this chapter very soon. Okay, mineral nutrition. So mineral nutrition, at the last page of the chapter, you will have an equation happening in the root nodules of leguminous plants that is leading to the formation of two substances, that is ammonia and hydrogen. Clear, everybody? Clear. Moving on to question number 25. Emerson's enhancement effect and red drop have been instrumental in the discovery of which of the following? Photophosphorylation and cyclic electron transport, oxidative photophosphorylation, photophosphorylation and non-cyclic electron transport, two photosystem operating simultaneously. Which is the answer, everybody? Which is the answer for this question? Emerson's enhancement effect and red drop effect, instrumental for the discovery of two photopigments. There are two photosystems operating simultaneously. That is the PS1 plus the PS2. So these two photosystems are working alternatively or not alternatively, working simultaneously. So the correct answer for question number 25 is option D. Question number 26, moving on to the last 4 questions of the chapter. In the light reaction, plastoquinone facilitates a transfer of electrons from plastoquinone. It is actually a compound in the cycle or the table given over there, right? The cycle of electron transport given over there in the plastoquinone is facilitating the transfer of electrons from, guys, this is a PS2. You imagine. Okay, if this is the PS2, then you can see that from the PS2 to cytochrome B6F, you will see a compound in the center which is referred to as this plastoquinone. It facilitates the transfer of electron from PS2 to cytochrome B6F. Clear, everybody? Moving on to question number 27. Very easy question, direct NCERT statement. Conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. The first reversible reaction of glycolysis is catalyzed by phosphofructokinase, aldolase, hexokinase, enolase. Which is the correct answer? Conversion of glucose to glucose 6 phosphate is catalyzed by which of the following? Yes, it's none other than option C, hexokinase. Hexokinase actually facilitates the transfer of electrons from glucose or conversion of glucose to glucose 6 phosphate. Question number 28. NEET 2020 question, NEET 2018 MCQ as well. What is the role of NAD plus in cellular respiration? What is the role of NAD plus in cellular respiration? It functions as an enzyme, it functions as an electron carrier, it is a nucleotide source for ATP synthesis. It is the final acceptor or anaerobic respiration. Which is the answer? You know the answer. You know the answer for this question, right? You know the answer for this question, right? Which is the answer for this question? It functions as an electron carrier. The NAD plus in cellular respiration, it provides a role of a carrier of electron. Done, everybody. Moving on to the second last question, question number 29. NEET 2020 question from plant growth and development. The process of growth is maximum during. You might have learned a graph also, right? I'll draw a NEET labeled graph. You might have also seen a graph. Right, everybody? Taking growth and time. And there you will be observing something like this, right? So guys, initially there is a lag phase. And after that, they are showing an exponential increase, which is referred to as a log phase. Which is referred to as a log phase. And finally, it is a stationary phase. So growth is maximum during which stage shown in the diagram? During this particular stage. Growth is maximum. So which is that stage? It is a log phase. So option number 1 is the correct answer for this question. Last and final question of the day, question number 30 of the first episode of Rank Boosters Mega Botany Test Full Syllabus Revision Test number 1 from the entire class level botany. The final question of the day is right now on the screen. NEET 2019 MCQ. Name the plant growth regulator which upon spraying on sugarcane crop increases the length and thus increasing the yield of sugarcane crop. Which is the answer? The particular phytohormone increases the length of the stem and increasing the yield of sugarcane crop. Which is the answer? Cytokinin, gibberellin, ethylene and abscisic acid. Question number 30. The correct answer, which of the following? Cytokinin, gibberellin, ethylene and abscisic acid. The correct answer is gibberellin. Done, everybody. So that marks the end of the super amazing mega botany test. We have successfully completed 30 important botany questions from class 11. So tomorrow I will be coming out with the diagrams of unit 1 of NCERT. Just a small quick recap of what are the diagrams given in the new NCERT and what all things you have to study. Okay, everybody. So thank you guys. See you tomorrow. And before that, sharp at 7 p.m. today, you will be having the lecture on transport in plants. Bye-bye, everybody.